Hi, I'm Andrei Mincov, the founder of Trademark Factory. As an entrepreneur, I'm a huge fan of watching Shark Tank. I've watched every episode, and some of them I've watched several times. And as somebody who's been in the intellectual property industry for over 20 years, I'm always curious. I always pay attention to when sharks or entrepreneurs mention intellectual property, when they discuss intellectual property, when they argue about intellectual property. And I've decided to create a compilation of all those moments from all the seasons when intellectual property has been mentioned in one context or the other. And if you're watching this, you're probably curious too. Here we go, Season 6.
What's the benefit?
It's a built-in causer. So as it sweats, everything gets caught in that reservoir, and it's got a wall, so as you drink, it's not going to spill on you.
Do you have a patent on it?
On the glass, it's pending. On this, it's issued.
So whether you have a patent may not be a deal breaker for your investors, but they'd still be curious to know how you're planning to protect yourself from competition.
I think it's really a smart product. Great job. Really clear what it is. The name is fantastic, Soap Socks. Then I have the other side of me that's saying, you have a patent pending, but I don't know if you're going to get it. And in the time that it'll take for you to get it, it might be 2 years, 3 years, and someone else may copy it. If you were at a lower price, you could blitz the market. I'm out.
So the problem with the patent system is that it takes forever to get a patent registered. You really need to fit into a very tight window so that by the time your patent is issued, people have not yet started to copy you, but also you have enough time to take advantage of the patent because patents are very short-lived. The general rule is if you can't protect it other than through a patent, don't get a patent.
Two options here. One is I retrofit the whole world of tables by finding each table one at a time. I die of old age before I ever make any money. Option two is I go to the manufacturer of tables and say, look, Steve, my buddy in Houston, solved the problem by having you install these on new tables every time you ship one. You got to pay me a royalty because I have a patent, right?
I have a utility patent, a very strong utility patent.
Is it better for you to put all of your time going to the manufacturers of the tables? No. There's kind of a binary decision because trying to get to every table that's already in a restaurant is a huge hassle.
The lesson here is that it's all about speed. What's the fastest way to mass adoption of your invention? Is it about selling to end users? Is it about selling to manufacturers? Or is it about licensing your invention to one of those manufacturers and letting them take care of the end users?
Is it something like Febreze, though? I'm just curious. Like, is it that type of technology?
It's
or is
actually
this
not.
different?
I have 3 co-inventors on this that are scientists that have helped with this product.
Do you have a patent?
We're patent pending. We feel really strong about it.
The short lesson here is that if you say you invented something, Lori's going to ask you if you patented it.
How did you come up with this?
A farmer 30 years ago made one for his grandkids, and he sold a few to, preschools and local places. So my parents actually bought one. I grew up jumping on the original. Then years passed by, all of us kids wanted one now that we have families. We contacted the farmer, and sadly he had passed away. We ended up manufacturing it from that point forward.
And you own the rights to it?
Yes.
We own the full rights.
So you have a patent on the bouncy round thing?
We have a provisional that's filed. We have utility and design that are also pending.
This is probably the stupidest way to kill your own patent application, by telling people on TV that there is prior art that will compromise the chances of your application. The point of a patent system is that you can't patent something that's already known. And by telling that story on TV, you've just admitted it. Say goodbye to your patent.
How'd you come up with this?
Back in the 90s, we had a drumming karaoke game called Drumscape.
I built the Drumscape in my parents' garage when I was 26 and filed all the patents, which turned out to be related to Guitar Hero, the earliest patents.
Fast forward, we wind up selling our patents to Activision.
Did you do well?
We did very well. We made Guitar Hero. That was the biggest game.
You made Guitar Hero, you didn't sell Guitar Hero, though. There's a big difference.
That's a big difference.
The lesson here is that inventing something amazing and selling your patent doesn't necessarily make you an entrepreneur. Building a business around your invention is totally different from finding somebody who can do that based on what you've invented.
But I've been spending that time thinking bigger. I shouldn't be pounding the doors of independent small boutiques. I should be thinking about licensing my closure to Land's End, Izod, The Gap.
Have you reached out to them?
That's one of the reasons I'm here, is to have a strategic partner. I think someone like you can come in and really help make things happen. We have international patents.
And the lesson here is that looking for a shortcut in your business can be very, very expensive. If you're an inventor, you invented something, and you don't have the guts to approach people that you can license your invention to, and you're up there pitching, hoping that somebody else is going to do that for you, and you're willing to give away a lot of equity, this could be a very expensive shortcut.
I'm curious, why don't the other products work? Because there are a lot of other products.
So the other grips are leather, so they're bulky. They're nylon or cloth, so they're slick.
So what's proprietary about yours is the material.
No, what's proprietary about mine and what I have a patent pending on is the method of a reusable tape grip based off of ring finger size.
There are two types of patents. Product patents give you a monopoly over making or selling a product with particular characteristics. A method patent gives you a monopoly over doing something in a particular way. Every situation is different. Sometimes one is stronger than the other, but what it boils down to is how easy is it for others to overcome the protection that you have through your patent? How easy is it for them to change a couple of things and get away with copying your idea?
Why do you think the company's worth $700,000?
Okay, $50,000 for the design patent, which we.
But what did you get the design patent for?
For this model.
Like what, a bag with a strap that has so many pockets?
It's just the look of it.
What else are you adding to the value?
A multiple of sales for 2 years being the $145,000 projection, $18,000 intellectual property, that being the bank of YouTube commercials that I've created. They're really funny, you should check them out.
You're putting a hard value on those.
Value is a matter of perception, and if we're on, if we're on an island and you have a bar of gold and I have a cheeseburger, who's rich?
I'll take the gold.
The design patent is a whole other species. Unlike a utility patent, which protects an underlying idea behind an invention, a design patent only protects the looks of an item.
Is there anything to stop someone else from doing exactly the same thing?
Okay, so we have several patents. We have a design patent on our Echo, which is our #1 seller. We have patent pendings on this adjustable squatty, so an adjustable stool that raises with toilet height.
If an idea generates a lot of money and it's easy to replicate, the question is always, can we, one way or another, legally enforce a monopoly over that idea? Because if we can't, there's really no point in investing in the idea.
Do you have any type of IP patents that protect this concept?
Yeah, we have 4 patents pending. One of them is a design patent.
If you come up with a new concept, your investors will ask you if you have any IP to keep that new concept to yourself.
We actually have a completely different proprietary process that we've just recently filed for patents for.
What is the difference between this and Duraflame, other than the scents?
All the other fire logs are made from sawdust and a slack wax. Slack wax is a very heavily oil-laden, smelly wax.
In the world of commodities, it's important to be able to demonstrate what makes your product or service unique. It's even better to be able to show that you have a monopoly, a legal monopoly, because of that difference.
So I didn't know what loofah is, but what else is in here? Because I see all kinds of things in the soap.
There's well, it's a proprietary product, so I can't disclose that to you.
You took
Have you
the loofah
patented
and
that?
poured that.
I have not patented, and let me explain to you why I have not patented. Because I don't want to release my ingredients. It's 63 different ingredients that go into that bar.
63 things.
Yes, sir.
In here?
63 ingredients, and it's all natural.
Now, once again, if you can protect your idea other than through a patent, don't get a patent. If a trade secret does it, protect it with a trade secret.
Copa Divina was another single-serve wine deal.
It's different in that we own the patents.
Copa Divina assured us they had patent on sealing a glass of wine. this way. So how have you not breached that patent?
Actually, the company that owns the rights to that glass and to that technology is a company based out of France. The previous entrepreneur, essentially, he's like a franchisee. So he had the rights to use his technology for his glass.
So what is the difference between your two patents?
The shelf life. That's what it boils down to. Our glass lasts for well over a year shelf life.
If you do get a patent, make sure you understand exactly what it covers. A patent on a specific way of sealing a glass is very different from a patent on any single-serve wine glasses as a product.
And do you have a website where you can buy them?
We're currently working on that.
Andrew, do you have a patent on it or anything?
We are working with an attorney to file for a patent.
Patent attorney is very expensive.
Yep, patent attorneys are very expensive. Which is why, if you can't protect your idea other than through a patent, don't get a patent.
My concern is, to Mark's point about the similarity to the other product we were talking about.
I know what you're referring to, Lori. I wish you could see an Easter egg decorating kit. It may ring a bell for you, but this is completely different. I have my trademark pending. I have my patent pending. I've done my homework in 90 days. I don't sleep, okay?
If you want to do it right, trademarking your brand will be one of the first things you do for your business.
Let's stop talking about all the problems you've had with logistics. Is this a good idea or not? If it's a good idea, what stops somebody who actually knows how to make shirts and deliver them, do this and make a lot of money and crush you like the cockroach that you are?
Okay, first of all,
I'm not a cockroach.
You have no market share of maybe a good idea.
Okay, it is patent pending. I've sold 10,000 shirts. I have great branding. I have a great trademark.
Coming up with a great idea doesn't make you a great entrepreneur.
We're dealing with two very large companies that we're now private labeling this same formula for.
I just want to be clear, when you private label it, there's no brand for you. They're simply using it as part of their product. So I go to them, I buy the product, you come along with it. Is that right?
Yeah, we manufacture for them. It's under their brand.
And I bet you're making hundreds of dollars doing that.
So when you allow others to white label your products, you're not really building your brand. And if at the same time you're not even making money on the product itself, you're not building your business either.
The material, it happens to be through an exclusive supplier of this material. It's patented, and so we have an agreement with this supplier.
You're the most expensive sticker in the party store. I'm not going to pay that kind of price for something I know I'm throwing out in the morning. I'm going to get stickers for 99 cents.
It's easier to get an exclusive license on something that nobody else wants to buy. Just because you got an exclusive license doesn't mean you're a great negotiator. It could be that you got an exclusive license to use and sell a product that nobody's gonna buy from you.
Our business model from day one was a dual strategy. Number one, prove out the concept. We wanted to show the world that this is a viable pizza box that has structural integrity, that customers will actually like it, and then move to a licensing model. We've achieved phase one.
Tell us why you think you've achieved phase one.
We have distributors around the country. Our largest customer is Whole Foods. We're in half the region.
Really?
Is there a patent on this?
Yes, we have a full utility patent. It's fully issued.
How many pizza boxes have you sold in your channel?
Direct sales, over 10 million.
10 million pizza
Yes.
boxes?
And through licensing, we've sold way over 10 million.
And the lesson here is that if you're trying to license out a novel product, it may be a good idea to first establish that the market actually gives a damn.
We use ultraviolet lights in the lab to sanitize surfaces, so we took that technology, married it to a charger, because if you're already charging your phone, you might as well clean it at the same time.
I'm going to guess there's no patent you can get on this because cleaning devices of this kind are everywhere.
So we actually have 2 utility patents submitted.
Having actually submitted your patents is very different from having actually registered them. Filing a patent application does not give you a legal monopoly.
So Andy, now we have to face reality. There's nothing proprietary about what you're doing.
There is something proprietary. I have a patent.
What's the patent?
It's for a portable and disposable living patch of grass.
There's a patent for that?
I have it.
Do you have any competition?
Pea pads and synthetic grass, and we do have a company that is infringing on our patent.
Are you going to go after them?
I'm suing them.
I'm more interested now that there's somebody I can sue. No kidding, right? You know, that's interesting because at some point, if you're successful, can get their customers as part of the settlement.
Exactly.
Let me make you an offer because I like it.
Often, your ability to sue other companies with deep pockets for infringement of your intellectual property is your biggest asset.
We came up with this Bomb Chicky Bomb Bomb label as a proof of concept idea for the front end. So then what we decided was that we want to go after mass. We think that has various licensing opportunities because our patent not only covers this shape tube, it covers any shape tube that's comprised of a lift device, either a twist, a push-up, or a lift with a stationary pod on the bottom.
Love the name.
We've spoken to industry experts about the name Bomb Chicky Bomb Bomb, and they have said Bomb Chicky Bomb Bomb is gold.
It's not gold, it's cute, and there's a big difference.
You have a fantastic, catchy name. But really what's most important is having the great product, because then you can think of a great name.
For a brand to be valuable, it needs to be memorable, it needs to be connected to a viable product, and it needs to be well protected. When your brand is not connected to a viable product, your brand is just cute.
So I'm just curious, you know, do you have a patent?
Yeah, so I just got our utility patent.
For cutting food into small pieces?
Into any kind of shapes.
When someone starts their question to you with, "I'm just curious," you know it's very important for them. Lori tries to downplay it, but this is a deal breaker for her.
What's unique in that bucket that's yours?
This funnel and the 2 screens, the bowl and the base, I have 2 patents issued in the United States.
Here's how investors' mind operates. First, they think, will enough people care about this for me to make a lot of money? Is it worth the risk? Second thing, does it have a competitive advantage? How is it different from what everyone else is doing? And 3, how can we protect this competitive advantage? Is it sustainably unique? If you've got a competitive advantage, but you're not protecting it, your competitive advantage will stop being a competitive advantage very soon because others will copy it from you.
Does anybody else do this?
No.
So is this proprietary to you? Do you have a patent on it?
The dye is a trade secret. A fellow in the 1950s developed a formula for something that was very similar to essentially what I was seeking. Then eventually I convinced him that if he has any old inventory, that I could take it over.
Did you buy it outright or did he still get a royalty?
He has nothing. I bought it outright.
How much did you pay for it?
I paid him $50,000.
Intellectual property is not just about your own billion-dollar idea that you can protect. It's also about other people's billion-dollar ideas that you can buy or license from them.
It's brilliantly designed. I'm super impressed by you. Did you patent this?
We have 2 utility patents filed. Our patents were filed through Columbia University, where we were students at the time.
Oh, do they own a piece of your company?
They own 2%.
So, I mean, we were students, so we had no money to front them. It all went into this.
How do you pay them for their 2%?
So they also have 2% royalties for any commercial retail sales.
Royalties, you say?
Intellectual property created in or funded by a university or an employer may be owned by the university or by that employer. This is the number one thing investors would check during their due diligence.
So this is not patented.
We have a patent pending, and that patent is primarily on the programming method of the lights.
So other people make gloves with lights.
Could make gloves with lights, but how many other people are?
We own 80% of the global gloving market. The rest of the market is made up of 4 or 5 of our competitors, and I guarantee you that they do not operate at the same level.
With patents, the challenge is about the compromise between getting something patented, even if it's very narrow, and being able to actually use that patent to protect your competitive advantage.
Now I ask myself a question that we always deal with on Shark Tank when a commodity comes forward, because that's what you have. I don't think you can protect any of this. So I ask myself, if I really wanted to compete with you, can I take $5 million, go hire another Ryan, and say, listen, guy, let's go out there and knock this off because it's so easy to do it. You're not worth $5 million. You can't protect any of it.
I'm absolutely worth $5 million.
Why?
And it's all about the brand, Kevin. You can create
What brand? What brand?
The Home Tee. The Home Tee is a trademark brand.
He cannot protect anything about it.
Trademarking the Home Tee? will not let you stop others from selling t-shirts that say home.
Damon, we are willing to be able to find a compromise between you and Robert here so we can really launch this company. Do you know, we waited and prayed to get the patent issued. We got the patent issued.
I'm out.
Sometimes, even owning a patent is not enough to get an investor interested in your business. Get over it.
When you go to that show and everybody sees the Sevia infused, neat cheeks,
Yes.
and including some of your competitors who are significantly larger than you that have cost advantage on scale,
Yeah, sure.
what stops them from putting Sevia in their white?
So we have a pending patent on our product.
The problem I see as an investor is you have a great idea, but you are cockroaches in the face wipe business. You're going to go to a trade show and expose this to every competitor, and if it takes off, the only thing that holds them back from crushing you like the cockroaches you are is the patent. So, to me, had you come here with a patent, I would have looked at it and said, all right, I'm going to help these two ladies, but I can't do that because I don't know the outcome of the patent. I'm out.
When I look at this, I think one thing only. Will they get their patent? So I'm going to make you an offer contingent on you getting the patent, okay?
The deal contingent on a patent seems to make sense until you realize that they need money now. And it may take years before the patent clears. And if they convince the investor to give them money now and the patent doesn't clear, what, are they supposed to give it back? It's even worse.
Marvel is one of the world's most prominent character-based entertainment companies. They have a library of more than 8,000 characters. That means a lot of opportunity for Sunstashes. We actually brought the first set of Marvel Sunstashes to show you guys. The way the deal works is we design, manufacture, and sell to retailers, and we pay Marvel a royalty on all that we sell.
These are great, guys. These are really excellent.
Marvel is owned by the Walt Disney Company, so the synergy that we can build between our brands is limitless.
That's the power of the brand. You can license it out and make a lot of money as a licensor. You can also get a license and make a lot of money as a licensee. That's amazing.
How much
Cadaver will cost you $5 grand, 10 grand, depending on where you are. This is a $40,000 model, but you keep it forever.
Is there anybody else that's doing this?
We are the only company in the world that does this. We have 10 issued patents that cover the technology.
When you say you have 10 issued patents, it's probably the perfect way to convey the message. I'm serious about this.
Do you have any patents? One of the biggest patent that we're super proud of is we take the battery mass of the vehicle and we use this bottom platform as an integrated stable storage platform in which batteries, chargers, controllers, all of that stuff goes. So there's no hardware in this top portion. That leaves it open for storage. It leaves it open for hardware attachments, all kinds of modular accessories. So sorry, that's a patent? That's a patent. Putting everything down below? Yes, sir.
How hard would it be for someone to get around your patents and achieve something similar?
A lot harder than working with us to license it.
That's the perfect answer. It's always about whether it's cheaper and easier to buy or license your intellectual property as opposed to steal it or overcome it by making some changes to it. It's not just about the law, it's also about practicality.
Who invented this game, you?
No, brought it back to life. So it was around back in 1989, and one of my good friends bought it at a toy store, and they and my older brother played a bunch and absolutely loved it. The product had been off the market for like 15, 20 years.
So who owns Spikeball?
We do.
And how did that happen?
Their rights were completely expired.
So you just reclaimed them?
The trademark, yes. There was never a patent.
Has it ever been contested now that it's successful?
No, and we actually did get a utility patent.
There's some guy that's going to be watching this going, oh my goodness.
If a trademark is not in use for a long time, it's fair game for others to use it and register it. Pretty much every country has a process that allows you to cancel somebody else's trademark for non-use. And also, if you don't renew your registration, that will happen automatically. What I'm curious about is how they got a patent on a game that was previously published. That I don't understand.
You pull it along, and it makes this sound.
That's right, and it's
as
tricking
it's going
the fish.
along the bottom.
Absolutely, it's tricking the fish into thinking if there's something there that it isn't.
Why did nobody think of this before?
Nobody's as smart as me. You know, I did a lot of research on the sound. I got the decibel levels down. It's part of my patent claims.
You have a patent on this?
Yeah.
Why hasn't anybody thought of this? is actually the question that the Patents Office needs to answer every time they decide on whether an invention is patentable. If you like this video, make sure to watch other videos in this playlist. And if you're an entrepreneur, if you want to protect your brand, subscribe to this channel and get notified whenever the next video goes live. I release a ton of videos about trademarks, about intellectual property, and I hope you're going to find them useful. I'll see you in the next video.